I feel that one of the aims and creative endeavors of poetry writing in English in the 21st century, as it was in the 20th century, of course, if you go back to Raja Rao and the problem of English and finding a language, obviously, which is appropriate to one's social experience, individual experience, emotional experience. I believe that the struggle is to actually have an experience of English as a social language, that experience which Indian writers in Indian languages have. There's always a struggle. And then the second, of course, is to actually think that, well, poetry aims to be a language of effect, that all great literature, of course, has language effect. Silence is a great, in fact, is a great communicator in literature, in poetry, in acts of reading poetry. And therefore, is it possible for a poet to reduce the gap between silence and language? Can poetry become actually a language of effect? Even as silence is very, very important in certain kind of poetry. And that effect, why I remember Raja Rao, of course, is it possible to capture the movement of thought in English? That's something that actually one seeks to aspire for. And coming to me, actually being aware of writings, of course, because of the positive time, I'll choose two texts. And before I do that, I'd like to, of course, reflect, as I say, that one of the quintessential experience of having observed writings in the 21st century is the writing coming from diverse spaces. Not that they were not coming, obviously. Take Northeast, you have Mamang Zai, the Legion of Pantham. The ability for writers coming to write in English from spaces, obviously, with an interiority of cultural experiences, ethnic experiences, of having to write in English with an experience that is available in Adi. That's something that we are aware of in general about a writer. But when actually, let's say a folk element, or let's say the space itself, when the stone, river, mountains, trees, they find their own language, in effect, that is made possible for writings that come from these diverse spaces, whether you talk of Mamangai or talk of Temsula Ao, or you talk of writers, of course, they're coming from, even writers who are so-called mainstream writers, they are actually seeking their voices located in specific places and giving voices to specific places. In fact, places determining not only the politics of writing, but also places determining the way these politics get communicated. Coming to the large picture, of course, I'll choose a novel by Shashi Through 2001, another by Megha Mazumdar 2020. These are two novels that I choose because of the lack of time. And these novels, if you read what Anita Desai actually wrote in a review of Mohsin Hamid's novel Maud Smoke, where she says that the difference about the writing in the 21st century, which of course takes him back to Kaveri, about technology, of course, and the experience of technology and how it's impacting literature in terms of providing a diffused pace to writing. This is an idea, this is a technique that both Tharoor and Mazumdar, of course, exploits in these two writings. How is it possible to give some of the newer kind of contestation and formations which are larger, which are universal, which are national, and giving them a voice in terms of what narrativity can do. Do I have time? No. So, all right, so I can take it forward from there. Thank you so much.